Oh yeah. I was just gonna say you mentioned Sueco, right? Any other celebrity encounters that you had or people that hit you up?
No, as I mentioned earlier, that Michael guy,
Mhm.
I was this close to actually, believe it or not, getting in contact with Will Smith.
Oh
Um,
my
Whoa,
God.
yeah,
what?
that would have been crazy.
Welcome back to Underage Thinking, everybody. Today we're gonna have another edition of TikToks,
With us, we have Logan Paluzzi,
aka TikTok star Young Schnoz.
aka founder of Project Simp.
With over 1.5 million followers on TikTok and close to 13 million likes, we're happy to have him on the show.
Hey, Logan, how are you?
Good. How are you guys doing today?
Pretty
Good, good.
good.
Yeah, we're doing great. We heard that you just had your job interview a couple hours ago. How did that go?
Yeah, ironically, for those of you that don't know my series, it's actually with UPS, which is a main component of the series I'm currently doing on TikTok. But it went great, man.
That's great.
Awesome, awesome.
So,
Yeah, go for it.
sorry.
Yeah.
I think what most people want to hear is how this all started. I know other people have done this before with the Red Paperclip project, but how did this all start, you know?
Right. So I'd say from the very beginning, number one, you might have seen it. There's a TED talk where the guy talked about how he traded the red paper clip all the way up until he got a house,
Yeah.
and that just happened to stumble across my YouTube recommendations. I know that's from probably 7 to 10 years ago or so,
Yeah.
but luckily it came across my recommendations. It's funny. I was actually sitting in this exact seat. I was playing Xbox, and I just randomly it sparked in my head. I thought of the idea from there, writing
Yeah.
simp on a piece of paper and trying to do exactly what you did.
That's crazy.
And yeah,
Awesome.
that's
Yeah,
pretty much it.
it's crazy.
That's how my mind works. I'll be sitting doing nothing, and then just randomly an idea pops in my head, and that's
Love
what I
that.
go off of.
Love that.
And then I think one of the craziest things is that you chose the word simp. Do you know, was there anything behind that or just,
No particular reason, honestly. From a marketing standpoint, it was just I saw it was a word that people were familiar with, especially on the app. So
Yeah.
that's the reason I chose it.
And we know you were on TikTok before. You were doing like comedy bits, and like that's probably how you knew about the like phrase simp and stuff like that.
Hmm. Oh. No way.
What's up, man?
What the
So
Right.
can you give us a little bit of insight about what the comedy was like, or like why you decided to shift over to this?
I knew in the back of my mind if I wanted to have a chance. There's so many creators that focus on comedy. There's no doubt in my mind the number one way to acquire followers is doing series. It
yes.
keeps the people. It makes them have to come back to continue seeing what's happening. So I kind of thought of it in that direction, as well as I'm not very funny, so
Wait,
this
I
is definitely the way for me to go.
we thought the opposite. We loved your comedy bits, and we're like, we love when he posts a comedy as much as we love.
I think the first video that blew up for you was the ad video, and I'm like, dude, I get that every fucking time with like those random apps for sure.
Yeah,
Um,
that's
yeah,
another example. I was just sitting in my college dorm room, just thought of it on the spot.
right.
Yeah, almost, I'd say 99% of my videos are original. I go based off what I'm thinking. But
Yeah.
yeah, that one blew up. That was my first video ever, and it
Mhm.
did very well. So
And then
great.
going off that, like, how did it feel like when you blew up? I think you like blew up twice technically, because like first of all you had those comedy bits that like the naked one, and then the
Yeah.
advertisement one that one blew up, and then Project Simp just took it to another level. So like talk about like where you were, I guess, when you hit those like millions of likes, millions of followers.
So I believe I was between the naked video, which got 400 some thousand,
He wasn't
and the
actually
app
naked, by the
video
way,
that got
guys.
300,000. I had around 20,000 followers. I was
Mhm.
slowly getting, I'd say, 1,000 like every couple days. Nothing crazy.
Yeah.
And the simp video came out. Thought it flopped because I broke it into two different videos. The one was the concept,
Yeah.
which did like pretty good, and then the actual trade. That's the one that went crazy. And I
Right.
believe it was within 12 hours I got 540,000 followers,
Damn,
something like that.
it's amazing.
Wow.
And I think
Great.
what's it called? the greatest thing is like seeing that you went from what 600, you went from a certain amount and you got 600K in like one day. What was that like? Was there like a feeling of like, oh shoot, I'm kind of like this celebrity on TikTok or anything like that, or what?
It was crazy. I was sitting there, and the way it works is, I forget what it's called, but there's a way you can see your analytics.
Mhm.
And I was refreshing it every second, and the likes would go up like 300 to 400 every single second,
That's
which is
crazy.
just unreal. That's ridiculous. I was honestly mind blown. I didn't
Yeah.
really know what to think.
Honestly, I have like something that I've kind of been wondering was when you made that first post and you posted it on eBay. What were you just like, hey, I have a piece of paper, who wants to buy? Or what was that? What was that bartering thing like?
Yeah, so I copy and paste the same thing on every single post. It's basically, I'm not gonna lie, I did lie a little bit. I said in the post that it was for a school social media experiment, just so
Yeah.
some people may think like, oh, let me
Right.
help this kid out with this school project or
That's
something.
smart.
But yeah, I would just copy paste, kind of tell him the general idea, and then let him know that I was probably gonna record them, and ask him if it was okay in advance.
For sure. And then
Yeah.
with like the followers that you got, have you ever been recognized outside, or what's that been like?
I've ran into kids from my high school that I graduated from last year, and they have seen me and like come over and talk to me. They had seen my videos, I guess. I guess it's gone around my hometown, but
Yeah.
other
Everyone
than that, I don't think I've been recognized. I do believe someone was staring at me the other day suspiciously. Might have been scared to come up or something, but yeah, other than that, I haven't been recognized.
For sure.
Yeah. Have there any been like? Has there any been like? Has there ever? Sorry. Has there ever been any like suspicious like instances where someone was like you had like an encounter that was kind of shady with like a deal or maybe like a
Yeah,
weird
like
text?
the first one you had was like the Rite Aid parking lot, which was
Yeah.
kind of shady, but like anything like that, or any weird encounters?
Um, Honestly, through Craigslist and eBay, no. Through Instagram DMs, absolutely. Like some
Interesting.
people on there, 100% trying to scam me. I
Mhm.
keep getting this. There's a scam that goes around all the time where when you post a Craigslist ad, it gives you a specific code and it tells you not to share it with anybody. And like, I guess somehow these people get your phone number and will ask for the code, but I get that every single time actually.
Really?
But yes, the DMs I get are they're crazy, man.
What
I
are,
wish I could show them.
what are the craziest, like top five, like weirdest items people wanted to trade?
Well, yeah, someone kept DMing that they're gonna drop my address. I don't know how they got it. Must have been some from my school. I said,
Yeah.
go for it. I don't really care, frankly.
Yeah.
Um, get a bunch of people just like messing around, obviously saying they'll sell me their virginity, stuff like that. It's just pretty funny. Yeah, a lot of people get like real creepy about the address thing.
Really?
Like some girl that lives in my neighborhood was spamming my address in my comments, which is pretty frustrating. I had to block her, but
Really?
yeah, a lot of these younger kids don't understand, I guess.
Everyone's trying to come at you with the fame now.
What's that? Sorry.
Everyone's trying to come for you now that you have all this fame.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. I definitely do notice a lot more people try to talk to me now, which is pretty funny.
Yeah. I mean, now that you have a huge following, it's kind of. Do you think it's easier to do these trades? Like, since you have all this following on TikTok, it's easier now, or what?
Without a doubt, that the Super 73, I only was able to do that trade because they had seen my series, and it just so happened I let them in on how I had the speaker, and it was a perfect lining of the stars.
That's
I mean,
amazing.
I'd say every trade from here on out will probably come from TikTok.
That's good.
Yeah, for sure. I would say one of the craziest things was how you went from just doing it locally to also expanding like outside. And I think you're also doing it during a time when like nobody wants to go out, like quarantine and all this stuff. So like, how has that like affected anything, or?
That's actually kind of the main reason I did go online. I did that first video that blew up where I did the in-person trade and shake the guy's hand.
Yeah.
Shook the guy's hand. I got a lot of flack in the comments for that. So in order to continue it in a timely manner, instead of waiting till after the virus, I was like, all right, let's just take this to TikTok and see what happens.
Yeah. And I know when you had that bike, you were like on the verge of thinking, maybe I should just keep this. Because honestly, that's a great deal. What was going through your mind at that time?
I was in shock, to be honest. The guy, Michael, that's his name. He actually has 300,000 on TikTok as well.
Okay.
He was just all around a great dude. He came forward. I could let you guys in later on some insight, some connections he gave me that might be coming up in the future. But You know, I
Love
was
to hear.
just in shock when that happened. I quite frankly, I didn't believe it at first, but once I realized it was legitimate, I was just excited to move forward.
That's amazing.
That's
amazing.
crazy.
Is that the Michael guy that you said? Was that the verified person or?
He was running the account whenever he contacted
okay.
me, but I believe he's a co-founder, maybe the CEO. I think he's a co-founder. I'm not 100% on that, but
And
yeah,
with the
he
motor,
approached me.
yeah, and then with the motorbike, I also saw on Instagram where you were potentially you asked your followers, would you trade it for that like $2,000 like flower pillow thing? What was that all about?
Uh Man, it's a sticky situation. So
Hmm.
I had mentioned in the one video that Swaco
Right.
contacted me, wanted to make a trade,
Hmm.
and he had given me several offers that I wasn't really leaning towards, but he threw the pillow at me just because I could give you the reasoning, but yeah, screw it, I'll go into detail. That
Yeah.
people are willing to pay like $750 for a white T-shirt that says Supreme on it.
Right.
So my thinking was, all right, this is a designer item. I have a receipt proof verifying that it's worth, I believe it's $3,200 exactly.
Wow.
You know, let's just get in and see what happens. But I'll give you an inside scoop. That is unfortunately the next trade. I can't go back on it, but I mean, yeah, it's in the mail as we speak. You just mailed it out today.
So what exactly is the next trade? Is that the pillow?
It's the designer pillow
Oh
worth
my
$3,200. Yeah.
Wow. From a bike all the way down to I don't want to say all the way down because I know it's more
It's
expensive.
worth more. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I really sat down and thought about this because there are obviously benefits to this and some very overlooming negatives to it. But the way I'm looking at this is, even if I get this pillow, it's $3,200. The bike's $1,400, so that's what, $1,800. Yeah, that's an $1,800 increase.
Yeah.
So
it's amazing.
I will be willing to trade to a deficit. Like I will trade this pillow away for, I don't know, $2,000, and I'm still going up $600.
Right.
So that's the way I'm kind of looking at it,
Mhm.
and I'm just gonna kind of just go from there. And I'm not, as you brought up earlier, the fact that I'm pretty big on TikTok, I'm confident I'll be able to find at least one person out there that will be willing to trade it.
That's great. What's it called? You said you were in college,
Yeah, I'm a sophomore in college. Yeah.
and then do you have any are you into entrepreneurship? Is that how this kind of started for you? Is that just kind of random, or what was that about?
No, I've been, if you're familiar with Twitch, I would live stream on Twitch all the time. So I've kind of always been in this had a hobby in this general, like idea of making videos, entertaining an audience of some way in some sorts. But yeah, I would say Twitch got me into all this. I never really touched Vine. I was too young for that. But yeah, I'd say it started with Twitch and then heard of TikTok, started making videos for fun.
And then do you have any, oh, sorry.
Oh yeah. I was just gonna say, you mentioned Swaco, right? Any other celebrity encounters that you had or people that hit you up?
No, as I mentioned earlier, that Michael guy, I was this close to actually, believe it or not, getting in contact with Will Smith.
Oh,
my God.
Yeah, that would have been crazy. If you're familiar with Nelk, I'm trying to email them right now. I got their #1 agent on my email.
Amazing.
But yeah, I kind of dodged all the early hurdles of going through, because those mega A-list celebrities like Will, you got to go through like 3 different entities to get to him. And that Michael guy kind of jumped me straight to the front lines there. But I guess we're still waiting on a reply, but we'll see what happens.
So how far do you think you are from that car? Like, how many more trades?
I mean, I've realistically gotten multiple offers for cars. They've just, and they've verified it to me. They're not little kids just sending like Google images or anything.
Yeah.
But I've gotten multiple offers, but they're just way too far out of my way to even bother going for.
Yeah.
But I'd say I'm within 2-3 trades, hopefully.
What type of car are you looking for? Like, ideally, like, do you want, like a lemon, or like, are you going for, a decent, like, I don't know, maybe a Toyota Camry that's like in nice condition, or maybe even something bigger if somebody, hits you up, maybe like David Dobrik hits you a Tesla.
Yeah, that would be ideal.
Yeah.
That's probably the #1 question I get. I've always just had the same answer. I'm gonna take whatever comes to me. Like, well, I guess we'll see what happens when we get there, because I don't really know.
That's great.
That's the idea
And-
of this series. I'm just working on my feet, just like nothing is planned. I'm just going as it comes along.
I know the red paperclip guy got a house. Let's say like you get the car and people are like, oh shoot, I want to keep on trading. Is there a viable option? Who knows? Like if you keep on going.
I can definitely see myself keep going on the up and up at this rate. Yeah, I'm definitely going to utilize TikTok to try and get as high as I can. But I think once I get to a car, it'll start getting pretty difficult to trade from there on forward.
Yeah, oh, for sure.
I think one of the questions I had was that first trade with the paper simp, you like framed it. Obviously didn't have much value or sentiment back then. But now if that guy were to come back with that paper, what would you think about that?
Yeah, so I should give that some background, because I can, from an outsider's perspective, if I saw that video, I'd honestly think that was like complete BS. But
Yeah.
I had known that kid from high school. We weren't really friends, but we had like, it was kind of like first name basis, I guess you could say.
Got it. Yeah.
And he happened to see it on Craigslist. Once he found out it was me, he was 100% down. And this is kind of the way the series has gone. Those shoes, he had no value in those shoes. He was just going to throw them away eventually. So he just let me have them basically for this idea. And I mean, that's a lot of the trades. Like the speaker trade was pretty shocking. Just the kid didn't want it anymore, so he gave it to me for the baseball bat and baseball. But yeah, no, he definitely did me a solid there. But that simp paper, who knows how much it could be now? I don't know.
It's amazing.
No, because we were like wondering like why would somebody like give you a pair of shoes for like a paper? Just that, I mean, that initial thing was the barrier that you had to cross, and then everything got rolling, But yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely a favor on his end, but I appreciate it, obviously.
That's great.
I just contacted him a couple days ago just to like update him on where everything was at. He already knew, but I just wanted to let him know.
And I know you said you get a lot of DMs. You told us it's hard. Like, what's kind of like the daily DMs? Like, you're getting like what, 2, 3, 4? Like, what is it a lot?
On a particular day, if a video's blowing up, I'll get anywhere from 200 to 300 in one day.
God damn.
If just like a day like today, I probably got like 80 to maybe 90, something in that range.
And you're checking it like every single DM just in case you get a good.
Well, I wish I could. The way Instagram's designed, it's so frustrating because I have to read it and then I have to confirm it and then go back to a different inbox and then like reply in there. If Instagram had a better system, I'd be to reply way more efficiently. Yeah. But unfortunately, I just read a lot and I have to leave them on read just for a time. It would take ridiculous amounts of time if I just went through that process on each individual one. But yeah, I'd say typical day like today, probably, I don't know, 80, 90.
So we're lucky we got in touch with you then. That must have been tough.
Yeah, you're the first ones that came forward with a podcast. I was like, yeah, that sounds cool. Why not?
We're the only ones doing this. No one else doing it on TikTok. I know you're in college, but has your family like ever given you input, or like your friends? They're like, oh my gosh, man, you're blowing up. Like, what's that been like?
I think my parents thought it was like a big joke at first. They're pleasantly surprised when I said 500,000, and then it was kind of funny. I went from the 500,000 to 1.4 million in like 2 days. So I told them the 500,000 one day, and then 2 days later, I'm like, oh yeah, by the way, I'm at 1.4 million, and they're pretty shocked. They're telling their friends. It was funny.
It's a proud moment. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know you talk a lot about, I don't know if you want to talk about this on the podcast, but you talk a lot about the big nose that everyone always talks to you about, and you make a lot. Has that been like a reoccurring joke with you, like often, and then you just go with it?
It's a staple of my staple of the profile for sure. I'm definitely brained in the nose.
Is that what
it runs in the family for sure?
Oh, really?
The Italian nose.
Well, I get that too. I'm an Arab, but like everyone's always like, dude, big nose. Now I'm all insecure about it.
So is that where you're getting your name Young Schnoz from, or where's that inspiration?
I honestly don't. My buddy that had TikTok, or two of them, their names were Young, like YUNG, and then their names. So I kind of took that and like morphed it into my own idea, Young Schnoz.
And then I think we just all kind of want to know, like, I know you went from shoes, paintball gun, Jordans, exclusive like baseball bat, and like what's it called?
Ball. Yeah.
Ball. Yeah. Have you ever had kind of like? Is there like for each one? Is there any kind of like weird experience or like kind of interesting thing that like was kind of off or anything like that?
Honestly, no. Just to give you an idea, as far as like mailing goes, I wait until I receive the package and then I send mine out. That way I know for a fact I'm not going to get scammed. As far as the actual item goes, I don't think I've had anything that's been off in any way. The speaker, the only thing that surprised me about the speaker was how much it weighs. The thing's like 80 pounds.
Really?
I should also mention, a lot of people ask me if I make money off TikTok. I'm actually down like $200 at this point from shipping costs.
Oh,
And this motorbike, I can't even imagine how much that's going to cost to ship, but I guess we'll find out shortly.
Wow.
Imagine shipping a car. I mean, you probably want that thing to be driven.
That's, yeah, for sure,
Yeah.
for sure.
That's
Okay.
amazing. So, do you think like at the end of the day you might just like cash it out, or like what you're just gonna? Because I know you already have a car to drive to place. So, what's that gonna be like?
Yeah, if I get high enough, I'm definitely considering just cashing out and taking like a couple thousand for sure.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I mean, at this point, I'm playing with free money. Like, I wouldn't have had this anyways, so
Yeah.
might as well just take it.
It's just shipping and handling. That's basically it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And do you have like I know this probably takes a lot of time every day. So, do you have like a regular day job that you do, or is it just trader all the time?
Not as of now. I don't. I went to the job interview earlier for that exact reason, but I just finished finals week, so it's time to get that summer job. But I that won't affect the amount of videos I put out on TikTok.
For sure. Also want to talk about one of your future segments. You said you like doing series and things like that. We saw the circle that's going to happen on TikTok. You want to talk about that and how that's going to work out?
Yeah. So for those of you that aren't aware, there's this movie called The Circle. There are 50 people put in a room around this in a circular form. I don't know how else to say it, but they basically, the way it works is there's about 1 to 2 minute intervals where as a group they have to decide who they want to essentially sacrifice by voting out until there's only one person left. I just thought, that's kind of reminded me of the Hunger Games, which I always enjoyed. I thought it was a really interesting concept. So I thought of the idea of bringing in 50 completely random people off TikTok, putting them in a Zoom call. They're going to battle it out every minute. The person with the most votes, they're gone. And we're just going to keep winding down until there's one winner.
That's great.
And I mean, I think it could be a pretty ridiculous idea, but I think it'd be entertaining to watch.
Yeah. And then have you gotten like any texts or anything about that? Or like has there been any like further steps in that process?
Yeah, so in the comments, I noticed a lot of people were mentioning how they would like to represent their state. So I'm kind of juggling the idea. I actually just made an Excel file for me to document everything, but I'm considering making a follow-up video, and it will be based off of one person from each state. So at least people will have like someone to support in a way. But one of the
California.
Sorry, go ahead.
Go for it. No, we're just saying we'll represent California.
For sure.
Oh, you will?
Yeah.
I
I'll
kind of
100% get you guys in if you want.
for sure. We'll make sure to text you about that. But I think I just kind of want to know. I think a lot of people want to know, which is kind of personal. Well, not personal, but kind of interesting. When you got that bike, we want to know: did you ride it around just a little bit, or did you like leave it?
I
Not at
didn't.
all?
Believe it or not, today I actually, because I was looking at it today. I was like, how does this thing's electric? Like, how does it charge?
Yeah.
I looked in the box. There's a little holder on the side. I didn't even see till today that has the like the mechanism to charge it. But yeah, I have not ridden it at all. As much as I would like to, I'm definitely keeping it tip-top shape for the trade.
That's got to take some willpower for sure.
Yeah, it's also, I mean, it's been raining at my house for like the last week or so I can't really try it out anyways. It's been really bad weather.
Where exactly are you like at right now?
I'm in Pennsylvania.
Oh wow, nice, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Well, I think this is a perfect time for our first segment, which is called, what is it called, Raj? Oh, I think you just lost your.
What is it?
Sorry about that. I got a 20% notification.
Oh, okay.
All right. Yeah, go for it.
Sorry. We're gonna make our first segment copper drop, and I think this is pretty fitting for you because of all these decisions you have to make. You're probably making these decisions all the time, but this is our hypothetical version of what happens at the end, right? Let's say you get your car, but then someone brings up another offer. I think we have a couple of listings that I'm kind of gonna bring up. Okay.
Okay.
So first up, you either get the car or you get a blue check mark. I think a lot of people want to know: is it worth it?
Wow.
Is it worth
That's
it?
crazy.
Yeah, blue check mark or the car.
Wow. That's actually like that's tougher than you would think.
Really?
Because getting
it's
a
valued
blue
that
check
high?
mark is like it just 10 times more traffic to your profile, guaranteed. But I'd say the car.
Said the car?
Okay. Wait, before we continue, what do you know the process for getting a blue check mark? I mean, like you have 1.5 million followers. You don't have one. I see people with, a lot less with blue check marks. I just don't. Do you understand it, or is it just random?
I don't think anybody understands it, quite frankly. There's someone with 6.2 million. Her name's Julia, and she's unverified.
Yes.
She's had that amount for a long time too.
Insane.
And I've gotten the inside scoop that apparently you kind of just gotta. I'm gonna say this off the record, but you have to essentially kiss up to some like TikTok reps if you want to.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of those people that have the check mark with significantly less followers, they're either like an OG user of the app, so I guess they're just recognizing them for being with them from day one.
Mm-hmm.
They're bigger on like another platform. It's usually one of those two.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Stuff.
Okay.
I guess we got to get you on the unverified. Have you heard about the unverified house with like Julia and all that?
No, I actually haven't.
So it's like this. Like they have like this. Like there's all these TikTok houses, so they made their own with like Julia, and then there's. Shit, I'm kind of blanking, but there's a whole bunch of people. It's gonna ruin my rep, but yeah, it's crazy.
All right, we're gonna continue.
Yeah,
okay, so the car or a meeting with Charlie and Addison.
It's pretty great.
Probably the car. I don't really, to be completely honest, I don't really follow them at all.
Wow.
Yeah, I honestly, I don't even use the For You page that often on TikTok.
Okay, let's see. How about like another celebrity, like maybe like a meeting with Will Smith, let's say, through a tie about him. Not worth it either?
If it was a meeting for a trade, I would do it. If it's just a meeting, I don't know, man. Probably sticking with the car.
Sorry,
that's tough though.
What's the thing that's going to push you over the top? I mean, we've gone through a couple options, but let's just say, like, we're asking you, what would you want in exchange? Like, except cold hard cash, what would be the thing that you would give up the car for?
Well, yeah, it would depend on the quality of the car, but honestly, I don't know. Like, some of these offers are so out of the blue, like, I couldn't even predict it. Like, the motorbike especially, I never saw that coming. But I'm trying to think of something that, like, I don't really know. I was thinking the red paperclip guy, once he got to this point, he started getting like a lot of contractual based trades. Like the one was half a year of rent in a house, like a recording contract, stuff like that. So I can see me somehow arranging like a contract with somebody in exchange for the car.
That's amazing. I mean, I feel like this definitely is going to be something that outlasts just a couple of months. I think it's going to be something that benefits you a lot in the future, which is amazing.
Yeah, I'm also, I should add, I'm happy to see, I always check my mentions. If anyone ever adds my username, I 100% will read it. But a ton of people I've seen are doing the same exact thing. This one kid actually, I think he started with a notebook and he's at like a boat right now. Like not like a boat, but like it's in like a couple $100 plastic or metal boat. So he's starting to get up there. I've been watching him.
That's
but
amazing.
It's cool to see this like ripple effect on the community.
I know with your following, you talk a lot about how you want to make an impact, and you're actually, I don't know if it's a partnership or you just started a GoFundMe with Project Hope, was it?
Yeah.
Is there anything you want to like talk about or like tell the listeners about Project Hope?
Yeah, it's not a part. I just like happened to look up a list of charities. I definitely had in mind with the whole virus situation. I had seen a lot of people talking about first responders, that general idea, because it sucks to be them right now, because especially people in hospitals, like you're dealing directly with the people that currently have this virus. So I just wanted to try and support and see what would happen. But I think that GoFundMe is at like $600 some, which is awesome, man. That's way better than what I expected.
It's amazing.
Yeah, for sure. I would just ask, like, what's next for you, like, in the future? We know the TikTok videos, but let's say after that, like, 3 to 5 years down the line, like, where do you see yourself, with the TikTok fame, or?
Unless I just get absolutely huge, I'm probably gonna end up just going to the real world, finding a job. But it kind of sucks. If I was at college, I have so many ideas for me to do, but they involve being out in public and like talking to people on the street, basically. Like, I have this interview series lined up that I think will absolutely blow up. I'm confident in that. But in the future, I'd say I'm just gonna kind of see what happens. That's the best I can answer that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I mean, I think that's it. Unless there's anything else you want to bring up, anything. And where can people find you? Actually, yeah.
Yeah, just TikTok at Young Schnoz, 1.5 million and growing.
There you go.
Instagram, I'm trying to grow that too, because only like 0.5% of my followers follow the Instagram. But other than that, that's pretty much all I stick to.
And
Yeah.
and if any of our listeners want to make a trade, maybe they have a card just lying around that they want to give to Mr. Young Schnoz, that'd be amazing.
All right, man. I think that's about it. Thanks for coming on. It means a lot.
Awesome. Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah. Hopefully your journey gets, hopefully you get that car, honestly.
Honestly, a house.
Yeah, I'm high in hopes, but we'll see what happens, I guess.
Yeah, with the pillow. We'll see. All right. Yeah, that's about it. Thanks, man.
All right. I'll
Talk
see
to
you guys.
soon.
We'll see
Yeah.
you. Bye.
Peace out.